Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Mateba Six Unica mod, which is being made by user Heka. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the Italian-made Mateba Auto Revolver, which is a wonderful little pistol that I've really been enjoying my time with, which is a bit strange for me. Typically, I don't care much for as modern of weaponry. This was made in the late 90s in the real world, but I gotta say, with the unique look of this particular revolver, I think it fits very nicely into the Commonwealth and thus into the Fallout world in general. So let's go and take a look at what we do get over here, and the Mateba is a fun little gun with the stats of course, dealing 50 damage with a 44 round with a firing rate of 6, range of 83, accuracy of 70, and a weight of 4.2. And as you can see here from the list of different modification categories we do have, we have a pretty decent amount of things that we can change on it. Now, there's not a huge number of mods in these categories, but there's enough for you to keep this gun relevant into the mid to late game, which I very much appreciate, and I especially love that in the receiver category, there are some very much Fallout-style receivers in there that, yeah, I really do love. Now, as for how you get your hands on one of these lovely pistols, it's quite simple. You just need to go to any chemistry station in the world and head down to the Mateba category, which for a just mere 10 screws, 12 springs, 16 steel, and 2 wood, you can build yourself one of these Mateba revolvers. Now, it is not added into the level loot list, so you're not going to find them scattered around the Commonwealth or anything. You can only get them from the chemistry station, but since they're fairly cheap to make, you can create as many as you want. And so let's head over to the weapon workbench to take a look at the various modifications we do have. And in the receiver category, it starts fairly normal with standard, hardened, powerful, and advanced. But oh boy, then we get into some fun Fallout-style receivers, adding in explosive, plasma, incendiary, and even cryo damage, which is just so wonderful. I do really love these receivers, especially the incendiary, explosive, well, honestly, and the cryo. The plasma, I've got plenty of other plasma weapons, but still a fun one, though. Now, in the next category we have is the barrels, where we only have 2 options of either the standard or the improved, greatly increasing your range. We then, in the grip category, have the standard or comfort grip, adding to your accuracy. We then have the sights category, where we only have 4 options of either iron sights, glow sights, reflex, or of course a short scope for any medium range sort of sniping you may want to do with this revolver. And then we have the damage category, and you guys know me, I've mentioned it loads of times on this series. I typically am not a huge fan of these because they usually don't have any requirement. Maybe a skill, but no material requirement. Well, Heka has decided to make you have some sort of investment in this besides just a perk point. And I really love this. Now, it's not much to do any of these damage increases, no matter if it's 20 or plus 99. It's only going to cost you 1 adhesive, 2 screw, and 2 steel, plus whichever rank in gun nut you will require, with rank 4 for the plus 99, but you only need rank 1 for the plus 20%. But still, even though it's minor, I like that it has some form of cost and not just a magical click where, boom, you suddenly have more damage on your gun. So I do very much appreciate the material requirement here. And then finally, we have the skin category with only 3 options of either the default skin, but we do have also an engraved wave and a Nuka-Cola skin, which I think are fun little options. I'd love to see some more in here, but even having just these other 2, you know, it helps you customize the gun a little bit more. So let's go take a look at these things in action. Let me actually grab 2 that I made earlier, where I created myself a explosive advanced Mateba pistol using the engraved wave texture there.
We go.
and it's a fun one. I really do love it, doing 182 damage. And then I also have a freezing pistol here, which is using the Nuka-Cola skin, which I thought was appropriate for cryo damage. You know, a nice cold Nuka-Cola. Now, actually one thing I meant to mention earlier, but almost forgot about. One minor nitpick that I have. It's not a big deal, but it's just a graphical thing. As you'll notice with any of the Matebas that I have out here on the table or on the weapon displays, you can see that the cylinder is out of the gun whenever it's out in the world on, say, the ground or a table. It's just an odd little graphical thing that makes it look a bit awkward if it's not in your hand. But of course, in your hand, it's just fine. So it's not a big deal. It's just one of those weird little things that makes me go, But alright, let's get to the shooting and take some shots here. Now, as you can hear, it's using the standard in-game sounds and pretty typical animations, but overall does work quite nicely. Good, smooth animation action there with the models. Always good to have. It is a slow gun, so you're not going to be just cranking out one bullet after another with it. Well, but, you know what? It's still quite nice, and once you do get into those higher damage tiers, with especially things like explosive damage, how could you care about the speed? You're just gonna be blowing things away with an explosive round. That's beautiful, and as you can see, it does have some splash damage. We're kind of getting both of the targets over there when I shoot the center one, which is pretty cool. Always nice to have that splash damage. And then, of course, the freezing one, dealing 167 base damage with 10 energy damage on it. With, of course, the 99% damage increase. And all in all, pretty cool. So let's go and take a look at these in action against Randy and Will, who have, as per usual, we are going to have to resurrect. I really wish I could find a way to not have to kill them every time before I start an episode, but let us bring back Will over here first. There we go, and he is alive. And time to go again, Will. I'm sorry, one shot, and he's down with the cryo one. And now it's time for good old Randy to Ragstag here, which, of course, we're going to have to go with the explosive round. And we'll bring him back to life as well. I'm so sorry, Randy, but it had to be done. A wonderful pistol. A wonderful pistol indeed. I've really been having a lot of fun with this. And again, despite it being a more modern-ish of a gun, I've just enjoyed it so much. It has a great look to it, has some fun modifications. I do love the additional textures, and just is a great little time using this around the Commonwealth. So if you'd like to have a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that is going to be it for today. I hope you all have enjoyed and that you do come back for the next one. Until that time, thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one!